Hey everyone, Dad Jokes Pwn here, back for another video, and today we are picking up where we left off in the campaign mode here in TerraTech, and I just want to thank you guys for a surprisingly successful first day on the previous video. So we're at nearly 200 views in about a day, and I really didn't expect it to work out that well. So thank you for that reception. It's definitely encouraging for me. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and try to keep going here. So here we are approaching nighttime. The game does indeed have a day and night cycle, so it can make things a little bit challenging at nighttime. But you do actually have a variety of different lights and other fixtures. Well, as if right on cue, like I wrote the script. You can actually light your path, and with a variety of different things here. So that's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and I think I'll go ahead and I don't really care about some of these parts, but I do want to go ahead and keep this, which is going to be a little bit awkward just because of sheer size. That's what she said. But let's go ahead and hang on to those. You know what? I'm going to hang on to these two just for in the off chance I end up finding a use for them, because there's certainly a chance that happens. So, well, the next thing on the docket here is going to be this quest with Crafty Business. I'm going to be honest, it's going to kind of suck to do it at nighttime. It's going to be harder to see, so I'm going to go ahead and skip forward until the daytime so that I can get just a better view. But just kind of check out this game. It just looks so nice. Now, I recognize that you're not going to see exactly what I do because of YouTube's compression. The graphical fidelity isn't going to be quite the same for you guys, but rest assured, it's a really pretty game. I really like it. I'm running on the maximum settings at the moment, and it looks pretty slick. But definitely a fan. We can go ahead and do the dialogue though, because that's fine. Crafty Mike's the name, and today's your lucky day. My base came under attack, and you get to help with the repair work. Oh boy. Be a pal and attach those conveyors back onto the delivery cannon for me. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hold up because I want you guys to be able to see this process, because this guy is kind of an introductory quest line that is actually really quite important, and this particular quest series actually introduces a lot of really important aspects of the game. So it would be nice if you could actually see them well. Alright, here we are. A new dawn, and Crafty Mike's asking us to go ahead and connect the conveyors back onto the delivery cannon here. So just pick that up, attach it on there. I would have done it myself, you see, but I can't move as freely as I used to these days. Boy, do I hear that. Pop the receiver on the end of the conveyor line too, would you, kiddo? Excellent. Imagine all the block bucks I learned from selling resource chunks now. So it goes ahead and spawns some resources in, just to demonstrate how these guys work. And of course it shoots them off into space. What? Okay, fine, I'll share the profits with you. No need to complain, geez. But you know, there is a way to make even more cash. I'll let you into a little secret. Special delivery incoming. Mind your head. And if you decide to play this game, you will get smacked in the head fairly often by stuff dropping at weird angles. Just kind of part of the charm, I guess. Magic. The refinery will turn basic resources into something shinier and more expensive. Take a look. So this is what I was talking about in the previous episode, where you can actually refine different chunks into more valuable materials. You've done a good job, kiddo. Maybe I'll let you look after my base for the time being. Meanwhile, I've got some errands to run. Later, kiddo. Mission complete. Alright. So, now the cool thing is, while I just quickly recharge my batteries really quickly, when you do basically the vast majority of quests, you end up with a bunch of extra parts, including these here. So I can actually now make use of this myself, and that's why I was hanging on to those resources, so that I can go ahead and get them refined and shoot them off into the stratosphere and make a little extra money. And every bit helps in this game for certain. There are actually, later in the game, you can actually get access to little computers that you can carry around, and you can make use of those to actually order parts, whatever part you need. That you can only order parts that you've already unlocked by playing the game, but you can just buy any parts you need, as well as having the option of using fabricators later on to actually create parts, which, spoiler alert, that's also a quest that we'll end up seeing, and allows us to use that. Oh, yeah, actually, we don't have the inventory unlocked yet, so that's kind of awkward. Well, what do we want to do about that? Do I want to carry this stuff with me? Honestly, I kind of do, but it's going to make it a pain in the posterior. But these are pretty valuable parts, especially early on. I don't care quite as much about... I generally don't care quite as much about the delivery cannon, but I do definitely want to try to hang on to that refinery. Oh man, that really got us super unbalanced here. Alright, so this is a good opportunity to kind of show you guys the building system. So you can pretty much take anything that you want to apart, and if, say, that was an accident, you do get this undo button. You can hit that and it'll pop it right back together. So if you do something just absolutely catastrophic to your tech, that there is an undo button so that you can quickly bounce back from that, because it's happened and it's going to happen to you if you play. The whole thing will fly apart and you'll just be left in a panic. But there is the undo button, so just make sure you don't do something else. So if for example I do that and then add something back, oh wow, they actually changed that. So the undo system is a little more robust now. You used to, if you made any other change, it would kind of wipe out the undo. So that's actually cool. I'm glad that they refined that quite a bit there. That's handy. Alright, throw this there. I'll throw that. We'll go ahead and make this a little bit more sensible here, given that we do have the extra parts laying around. I wish I had another one of these. That would be useful. Well, actually, I wish I had another one of these guys. That would be even better, but we don't, so not exactly the end of the world, and it's not going to work very well. Do that. There we go. That'll line up considerably better. Throw that on there. Throw that there. And honestly, guys, this is most of this I won't actually do on camera. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea. Like you can literally do and build pretty much anything you feel like, um, and that's just what's so exciting about this particular game. Um, you're handed a handful of challenges, and you're kind of left to your own devices in terms of how you want to go about solving those challenges. And I like that use. Pretty quickly, they kind of take off the training wheels and turn you loose, and that's pretty great. Tons of freedom. Um, Sometimes that freedom comes back to bite you in the butt because you can't handle yourself quite yet, but that's good. Oh no. There we go. Got that guy. Alright, so this isn't really working quite as I had hoped it would. It's making it pretty hard to get around. Oh no. Had a random bug. Dang it. Well, that happens. Okay, good. We didn't really lose a whole lot of progress there. Um, Apparently, I killed that guy so hard that it broke the game. So we'll have to see if we can refrain from doing that this time. Oh, hit the cab. So basically, the win condition in TerraTech is you have to destroy the enemy's cab. Um, and that particular design isn't great because his cab is pretty exposed. And as you see, we were able to pew him down. So I'm going to go ahead, now that I have more wheels and everything, I'm going to go ahead and just redo this because it's a little painful. You can see there that we have this red blinking. That means that particular part was damaged, so I went ahead and just relocated the repair bubble to get it repaired because I don't really want to lose that little conveyor belt. But I'm going to go ahead, rebuild this, get it a little more functional. Right now it's really back heavy, and that was really slowing us down quite a bit. But I'll go ahead and make use of a bunch of these parts, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, so here we are. Uh, my apologies to those of you with issues with symmetry. I'm the same way. This thing is killing me. Um, Early game, it's kind of hard to really get it exactly to make it pretty. We'll say, but later on, I promise we'll get much better looking text. But for right now, we just kind of have to grin and bear it a little bit. I was able to make use of a number of blocks and new weapons from those old techs that we just killed, as well as just kind of rebuilding to make this vehicle function considerably better. See if we can outrun this guy. I don't really want to waste my time on him if I don't absolutely have to. But we're going to head on over here. Oh yeah, so I think this might be our first opportunity at getting an actual shield, which is exciting. I definitely want one of those. Yay. Alright, so I didn't really think that through very well. I should have had the shield generator considerably farther forward on the tech, We had a little bit of damage there, but it's not exactly the end of the world. Alright, so what do we have here? Is this the shield? Or one of the shields? Or is that a repair? Yeah, that is a shield, I believe. So we'll get a little juice here. Oh no, I had a battery explode. Oh man. Well, that's a shame. That's pretty annoying. Oh well, what can you do? But on the bright side, we do now have access to this particular little turret over here, Turret Joe. Hover over the guard button and release the right mouse button. Alright, so when you actually activate that, if you have a unit, well, a tech I should say, which has an AI, and which is exactly what this thing is. This is an AI module, the little face on him. Then that actually does allow you to use different commands in order to tell it what to do. So if it's a wheeled unit and you set it to guard, it'll actually follow you. Now, mind you, that AI for driving it is a little wonky and it can easily get lost, but it can actually follow you and defend you if you want it to. But usually you're going to use it in a capacity like a turret where it defends its surrounding area. So that's pretty sweet. Extremely helpful. Alright, so now that we are over here with an SCU, I'm going to go ahead and kind of strip some of these completely unnecessary parts off and store them for later. But I am really happy now to have that inventory. It makes life considerably easier. And there are mobile versions of this, as I showed you in the last episode, or well, first episode as well, in which you can see that you can store, and you can see the storage right over here of all these items, and you can retrieve them through your inventory whenever you need them. So it's super helpful. And then as far as Turret Joe goes, he needs a cab in order to be able to swap over to him. I want to go ahead and save this little design so that I can re-implement him later. So let's see if I can buy a cab through the window here. I'm hoping that I can. Oh, I also need to replace that battery that I lost. I think I'll go ahead and run with 4 batteries. Maybe go ahead and get one more solar generator just to speed up charging those batteries. And let's see. It doesn't look like it's going to be an option. Oh, yeah, there is a cab. Hooray. Alright, so I just ended up blowing a fairly significant amount of money, but that's okay, because now I can switch techs, so now I can see and actively control this little turret. But more importantly, and the whole reason I did this, is if you go down to the very bottom left of the screen and hit Take Snapshot, it'll save the tech, and then you can actually use it later on. So we'll leave it called Terra Joe. That's completely fine. Now, another really cool thing about this game, and is something that I haven't actually gotten into quite yet, is that you can actually upload and also use other people's techs that they've loaded onto the Steam Workshop. Now, you do have to have enough parts to actually load it in, but there is an enormous database of different techs which people have uploaded to Steam, and well, to the workshop, I should say. And that's one of the just amazing things about this game, is that you can, if you want, you can do everything completely by yourself. You can build everything from scratch and have just ridiculously elaborate techs. Or you can borrow upon other people's work and have a ton of fun and cut out a lot of that building time if you're just someone who wants something strong and quick. And either way, it works out great. So we've got this saved. I can now swap back to our mobile tech and send all those blocks to inventory, and they're all saved now, so that's pretty sweet. So I probably should go ahead and redesign this. I want to go ahead and make use of the rotating anchor that we just got, because when I anchor with it now, I can still turn and aim my guns. So that's a far better way to kind of handle that. Alright, so it occurred to me that I have well over an hour of footage to edit down already at this point, so I need to go ahead and wrap up this episode, but I promised a sneak peek into the main account that I play, and wanted to show this little tank off, and you can see that it is pretty potent and also dressed to a T with its little top hat here. This is Lathrix's top hat. You'll find in this game that actually there are quite a few nods to a variety of different content creators from YouTube who have had a pretty profound effect on TerraTech, Lathrix being one of those, and he's actually one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. If you've never heard of Lathrix, I would definitely check out Lathland. That's his YouTube channel. He actually revitalized a series for TerraTech here recently that kind of got my juices flowing again and made me want to play it too. And that's the reason why I'm here right now, recording it and trying to make my own go of it, but because of him and others like Sunday. Sunday was actually the first person I ever was exposed to TerraTech by, and he also has his own special item in the game. Matter of fact, I said it, so I should probably show it to you, shouldn't I? And here it is, Ice Cream Sundae. That is his commemorative item for the game, and also well deserved, as he was kind of a pioneer for getting exposure for the game really early on, and he's the reason why I bought it and started playing, and I've sunk untold numbers of hours into the game at this point. But more than that, I wanted to show you guys my main base here in this game. And yes, it's as absolutely ridiculous as you guys think it is. This is an absolute labor of love. You see my turret tearing up a little tech enemy over there. You got to keep this stuff protected, otherwise it'll get blown to smithereens, unfortunately. But essentially, this is where, if I'm out collecting a bunch of stuff, I can come here and I can obviously recharge, as you can see there, but I can also drop anything off, including both parts as well as direct resources. The base will take them in, sort them out, and put them in their respective place where they belong. So another huge benefit to this particular base in particular is the fact that I can actually create any part that I need in the game directly from here. So let's just say, for the sake of example, I want to craft a weapon from Hawkeye here. And let's say that I want let's see, one of these cool BMB missiles. So I'll go ahead and hit craft. And again, you do have to have all these parts unlocked. You can see here that there are actually parts that were added to the game since I last played, and I don't actually have access to them yet because I haven't unlocked them. So I need to go do that. So that's cool. But say I want this, I hit craft, and it's going to tell my base that I want that part, and it's going to start feeding in all the resources that I need as well as the components. If I already have the components, it should go ahead and feed them over into this system, and it should go ahead and crank out everything that I need to go ahead and spit out that particular part. Now, this is extremely advanced. You're not going to be here for a while in the game, but this is kind of what you can think of as part of the end game. Getting to this point is a pretty big deal, and you can see that it is currently working on trying to create the seed AI, and that'll be the last component that I'm going to need in order to go ahead and proceed and get this. It's not a perfect system. Unfortunately, sometimes it does wig out, and it has a little bit of trouble. So we'll see if it goes ahead and finishes completing it. I probably should have done something a little less. Oh, no, it did it. Sweet. So, there you go. And my SCU went ahead and sucked it up into the inventory for me, and I can now use that part. It's so cool being able to put something like this together and have it work flawlessly. There's so many conveyor pieces. There's just hours and hours of tuning and trying to get this right. For the opposite direction, you can obviously scrap things. So let's say I don't want to scrap any of these really big new parts. I'll scrap one of these guys. That's fine. So the scrapper should sense that that's there and pull it up and start chewing it up. And sure enough, there it goes. And those are all of the components which would be needed to go ahead and create that. Did they get stuck there? That's weird. Oh, there seems to be a bit of a backlog in the system. We're going to have to figure out what's wrong there. Oh, it looks like that particular conveyor belt is going the wrong way for some reason. I don't know how that would have happened. But I can fix it. There we go. So now it'll go ahead and sort all those. It sorts via filters. I have two different filters so that per silo here, so that it can grab, if there's a whole crap load of them, it does sometimes have trouble getting everything. It'll grab like every other one if it's moving really quickly through there, and they're really densely packed on there. And then it does, of course, have an overflow system as well. If I just get too many and the base can't hold it all, it'll go ahead and send it over to this side, and it'll sell it over here in this section as well. So that's really sweet. This is kind of an idea of where you can end up in game, and that's not even mentioning the fact that there are mods for the game that I've not even really scratched the surface of at all. There's just endless hours of fun and gameplay. So that's going to about do it. Thanks again, guys, for the attention to the series. I definitely appreciate it. Love the support, and I'm looking forward to continuing here. So if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton in growing a YouTube channel here. And hit that like button And as always, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.